Hi there, in this video I'm going to give you a video tour of eCampus, which is also known as Blackboard, and also MyLab Math, which I will probably call My Math Lab quite frequently. That's its old name. So let's go ahead and get started. When you first sign into eCampus, I believe yours is probably going to say Student Quick Links right here. And then you want to sign into your courses. We're going to want to get into our course here, and I need to go to fall 2021, and I'm going to go into this one here. This video is for 3 college algebra courses. This is one of those, but what I'm going to share with you is the same for everybody. All right, so when you first sign into the class, I'll get rid of this course under construction as soon as I'm done with this video here. And you'll see there's an announcement. So read the announcement. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about what's here in eCampus and how to get started. And so I would, make sure you read all of this. And these 2 videos, the syllabus video and the video that I'm currently creating, are going to help you to get started quickly in eCampus and My Math Lab, the 2 places you can spend most of your time, particularly in My Math Lab. So let's go ahead and get started. We're on the announcements page. One of the things it's going to tell you is to click on syllabus, and you'll print out the syllabus. You should read it and make notes, highlight things that are important, maybe put some question marks in where you have questions. And so that's the first thing you're going to want to do. This equations and factoring, if you click here, one of the things I talked about in the announcement is the importance of being able to solve equations, linear equations in particular, and also factoring. So you can see there's actually a link here to practice with solving equations. Let me go back to where I was. So these are assignments, and then these are videos that actually go over those skills. So you can watch as many of the videos as you need to, but again, I can't stress enough how important it is that you're good at solving basic equations and that your factoring skills are good. These are things that students will really struggle with if they lack those skills, because we use a lot of these solving equations and factoring. We're going to use those a lot. All right, so we'll go to My Math Lab in a little bit, but let's look at some of the other eCampus links. Email instructor, if you click on there, you can email me. Let's go to introductions. So here you'll click on introductions, and you can see I've already put one in here. And I've done a written introduction, I've done a video introduction, I've shared some photos. You can do whatever you're comfortable with. Most people will just write one out. Some people enjoy doing the videos, so whatever you prefer. And you can also reply to mine here, and I would encourage you to try to read and reply to other people's introductions. So that's that. Teams, I may be putting you in teams or groups, and so if I do that, that's where you'll be getting into there. Grades, when I put grades into eCampus, this is how you'll be able to see those. Resources, these are resources for students, the library, academic advising, other things are here. They're in the process of changing a lot of this, rearranging how they do things. I think it's called the Learning Commons, so we're kind of waiting on that. It's not ready yet. Let's see, we have help. That's for help with eCampus and Blackboard. There's videos and tutorials that you can look at. Let's see, learning materials. This is where you should be able to go and see all the materials that are required for your courses or that you have access to. I don't know a whole lot about how you're supposed to use that, but I know that we're not supposed to take it out. And then finally, tutoring with Mr. Smith. If for some reason we do some tutoring online, this is where we would do it. I'd create a section or a session, and then we can do online tutoring here. All right. But for this, for the 3 courses that I'm talking about here, you're all face-to-face courses, and I'll have office hours where you can go to my office. All right, so let's go ahead and go into MyLab Math, or My Math Lab, and let's see. The first time you come in here, if you click on any of these links, it's going to help you register, and once you've done that registration, you won't have to do that in the future. The first thing after you've done that is you're going to want to run the browser check. And so it's going to tell you if there's anything you need to download in order to run this program. I'm already set up. So you'll want to make sure you do that. And if you ever have problems running any of the things in My Math Lab, you can always go back and rerun that browser check. Here's where you find your textbook. This is just one way to get there. Does take a little bit of time to download. So this is basically your book. If you click here, this is the table of contents. You can, just kind of play with this, and you'll find. Let's see. Let's go to chapter 2, and we'll do 2.1. And so that's chapter 2, 2.1. To go from one page to the next, you just click here or here, and you can kind of play around with that, but that's your book. Let's go back to, let's see, I think when I just click here, I clicked out at the top. Okay, so we also have the Multimedia Library, and this is basically all the help that comes with My Math Lab for each of the chapters. So let's go to chapter 1. We'll do all sections and select all. And you can see there's videos. These are animations. They're just another type of video. Let's look at, we've got the textbook links. Takes you to the textbook section. These are PowerPoints, and these are all the videos that they've created. So let's go ahead and, again, I'll go up here and click out of there. You've got your gradebook from My Math Lab. I would tend to, it's going to be in the ballpark, but the eCampus grades will be more accurate just because of the way the settings are. Integration support, if for some reason you have problems during the semester, they're going to ask you to come in here and they'll need some information from you. Hopefully you won't have to worry about that. And so the only other thing I would mention is we've got accessible resources for those of you that may have some learning disabilities. You may want to see what's available here. Again, I can click out up above here. And let's go into MyLab Math assignments. This is where you're going to spend most of your time. Notice there's an orientation assignment that's optional. If you're pretty comfortable getting around technology and putting in answers and stuff like that, using templates, then you'll probably be fine, but otherwise you may want to check that out. The first thing you'll notice here is we have notes and videos for section 1.1, so let's click in there. Now the ones here that say 1T, these are actually videos of the lessons that I normally do in class. You can see I broke it into 3 parts. These other videos are the books videos. My recommendation to you, if you miss, let's say either you miss a day, or maybe I went over a lesson and you just feel like you need to go back through it, well, that's where you could go through these videos here, the 1T videos. And as you're doing homework, these are videos that will show up when you ask questions in the homework, and you click on video, these are the same videos. So my recommendation is that you rely on the videos that I'm making and the notes that we're doing in class. These other videos would be good supplementary videos as you have problems with any of the homework problems. All right, so once you feel like you're ready for the homework, let me go back. Let's see, I think I'll just click on OK here. All right, so now we're ready to go into the homework. So it tells you the section, the date that it's due, your current score, and you can see that it's half credit if it gets done after the due date. Let's go in here. And I'll show you a little bit here. So to navigate, you can click here to go to the next problem. I'm going to continue on. Let's see, I want to find a nice problem. Okay, so determine whether 9, 7 is a solution here. So if you plug in 9 for x, 9 times 6 is 54 plus 12. Well, that's not going to be y, which is 7, so it's no. But I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Now, normally you get 3 chances, but you can see here it's a final check because it's a yes-no question. And so I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to go to the next question. And what I want you to see is if you click here, it shows you all the questions for the homework, and you can see I missed that problem. So I could click here, or I could just arrow back. The thing I want you to understand is if you click on similar question, it'll give you a new problem. So let's see, is this a solution? If I plug a 4 in for x, that's going to be 48 minus 1. That's not going to be y, or 3. So this is no, and I click on here. Notice now I have a green check. We'll move on to the next question. If you click here, you can see that we now have that question marked correctly. So the point I'm trying to make here is if you're willing to put in the time, anytime you make a mistake or miss a problem, you can always go back and fix it, which means you can get 100% on all your homework assignments if you're willing to put in the time. All right, so what else do we have here? If you notice, you can click on Help Me Solve This. That'll help you solve this problem. View an example will give you a different example, and then you can come back and do this one. Get more help. Now notice here there is a video, so you can click on the video, and there's a video where they'll show you how to do this. And so the other thing you'll see there is you can click on Ask My Instructor. Also, here's the link to the textbook. Let's click on this one here. So notice it's going to give me a copy of the problem you're doing, and then you can type in whatever your question is. And this is where I'll either send back a written response, or I may make a video, and so that's a nice way to ask questions when you're not on campus. You know, and depending on how many questions I get, I should be able to keep up with that, but if there's too many, then we may have to figure something else out. But let's see, what else do we have? You can print out your homework. The only thing you have to be careful of, sometimes if you print problems out and you go out of MyLab and come back in, the problems could change. So just kind of keep an eye on that. I'm not quite sure how well that works. I haven't heard anything about that lately. If you click here, there's actually an accessibility setting. If you have a learning disability, you're using a screen reader for some reason. So when you're done in here, you can click Save, and then click OK, and that takes you back to the front here. In here, you can see our due dates, and you'll be able to see how you're doing. All right, I think that's all I have to say about this video tour. And again, if you have any problems, any questions, let me know.